back and better than ever before. It's the Anonymous Squadcast. First and foremost, we want to apologize for our slight hiatus. As you heard in our previous episode, ZitterZap had a baby. I know I, for myself, have been having some busy weeks, but we are back and we are, well, I'd like to say we're at full force, but, we'll see where Zitter thinks too. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you a couple of news aspects for you, and one of those is EA flagging YouTube content, specifically with this new Medal of Honor Warfighter release, but, content in general from EA on YouTube. As well, we will be talking about Battlefield 3 Aftermath DLC. We all watched the video by now, and so I'm sure that we will have a lot to talk about with that. So, Zitter, you've had a month off now. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been handling the baby, or the baby has been handling me. I love spending time with her, and it's a lot of fun, I tell you. And I've also been able to game a bit because my mom is here to take care of the baby, so I'm getting some free time. And I've recently been playing Armored Kill Rush, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I mean, it's so much more better after they rebalanced the AC-130 to only spawn when you destroy an MCOM. It's just so much better. Apart from that, I have dug my claws, not very deep, but a little bit into other games like Assassin's Creed Revelation, Starhawk, and I'll be getting Resistance 3 soon. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. What have you been up to? I've heard you've been pretty busy these days.
Yeah, the gaming has been on a minimum. Pretty much the only games I've picked up in the past couple of weeks were Little Big Planet for the Vita, and again Madden 13, just because you can squeeze in a couple games here and there. Over the weekend, though, I did pick up Payday The Heist, and I have been having a lot of fun with that. Playing with friends, playing with randoms online. It's just, it's a good game to, I guess, kick back and just have some fun. I'm not really a bank robber, so it's all kind of foreign to me, but, I've been having fun with it, and as of this recording, I'm getting ready to play Medal of Honor Warfighter, although by the time that people listen to this, I'm sure it will have been out for at least a day.
Yeah, I looked at Payday the Heist. I saw a couple of YouTube videos, and the concept is pretty cool. And I always wondered that why haven't somebody already did this before? Because the co-op aspect and the stealth aspect, or somebody screws it up for everybody else aspect, is a lot of fun. Do you have any funny story to tell from your gaming experience with Payday?
Well, we were doing a mission, and this was with me and 3 random people that I just hopped in their game, and we all had mics, so it was working pretty well. But we were doing this, I think it's called Diamond Heist mission, and if you stay stealthy throughout the mission, you get an achievement, and then you get a possibility at getting like some sort of giant diamond. I didn't really know because, I was the lowest level and I just bought this game the other day, so I just listened to them. So basically, one of them would go around and do all the objectives, things like that. The rest of us would just sit in this room and wait for him to finish, because if you have 4 people walking around, it's a lot harder to be stealthy. And so he failed about 3 times, so we would all run up to the top of the steps and just jump off into the atrium and die. So that we could start over and
God.
try again.
That is funny. Anyway, I'm glad you're having fun with that game. So moving on to our news, the first news that we're going to discuss is about EA, who is flagging content, specifically Battlefield content on YouTube. Now, if you know that there's a huge community in YouTube that makes videos by using footage from Battlefield 3 or other EA games, and some of these YouTubers make money out of their content. They make tutorials to help people out or just general commentaries. What EA has been doing is that they have been flagging this content as a copyright owner, as a copyright infringement, and they are displaying their ads on these YouTubers' content without actually paying for these ads. So, what is happening is that YouTubers are not getting the money for the ads that are being displayed on their videos. Now, the YouTubers which are partnered, they do not have a big issue with this because they get paid as per their contract with whomever they partner with, Machinima, Pixel Enemy, and they get paid a certain amount for a certain amount of view per thousand views, a certain amount. So they don't have an issue with this because Machinima or Pixel Enemy gets paid from the advertising revenue that is generated from their videos. But small YouTubers who are not partners and who make very less money from their content because they are small YouTubers and they are not partnered, you see how that cycle works, are basically they are basically getting no revenue at all from their videos, and they are some of them are even getting takedown notices. So Nova, what do you feel about what's going here, and is this a good thing in long term, or is this a short-term profit stint from EA?
I don't really know if I have a problem with it necessarily. In my opinion, if you're not, partnered with one of the bigger names, you're not going to be making anything off of YouTube anyway. So, if you don't make that much more off of your advertisements, then I'm not really sure. To kind of turn the tables a little bit, pretty much every YouTube video I've been opening for the past week or week and a half has had the new Black Ops 2 trailer, or I guess advertisement, played before the video. And, so that's not EA and Microsoft. So, does that mean that those YouTubers still get that payment? Or, because some of those are Battlefield 3 videos, but are they not flagged by EA yet? Or I guess, how far has EA gone in doing this?
I mean, those trailers that you're seeing are basically put in those videos by Machinima or Pixel Enemy, who these guys are partnered with, because they know that they will have a better return on advertisements or better click rate if they place those videos. Even though it's Battlefield, if they place a Call of Duty video, it's more likely that a person who went to that video is going to click it.
I see.
That is how basically the partnership works. But I mean, the YouTubers that we are talking about, who basically are not partnered and are very small and make a small amount of money, I still say that even though they make little amount of money, they do invest in their YouTube videos. I mean, even to start making YouTube videos, if you're not playing on console, you have to buy at least a $1,500 to a $2,000 computer, and you think that, okay, even if I make $50 a month from my YouTube videos, I might be able to recoup some cost or buy some games or anything. The problem with this is that it's not majorly about the money. It demoralizes these YouTubers who are putting 20-30 hours, because big corporations are stepping in and they can do whatever they want with their content, and these small YouTubers cannot do a single thing. So these small YouTubers are just gonna say, oh, I'm done with YouTube because all my videos are getting flagged, and I can't even if was making 10 cents out of it, I can't make anything. So to hell with it, and I'm quitting YouTube. And that is what I do not want to see, because I actually watch many small channels and some people, and I watch videos from people who are not partnered, and I don't want them to go away, and I want them to have the same enthusiasm in making video like they always had. So do you think that there is a demoralization effect if EA continues with this thing?
I don't think that money is the correlating factor to enthusiasm. Like, you're worried about people getting up and leaving YouTube because they're not getting paid as much as they were, or even at all. But people make YouTube videos because, A, they want to make YouTube videos, or B, they have a lot of fun doing it, or C, they want to see something coming out of their video games that is more productive than just sitting there playing video games. That's one thing I liked doing over the summer, is it took, just sitting on the couch for a couple hours and, I guess you could say wasting time, although we both know that video games isn't a waste of time. But for all those naysayers out there, they think that, just sitting down for the entire day is a waste of a day. And so I started making YouTube videos. Now, I didn't make that many, so don't hold me to that. But, it's just something fun that I like to do. I've always been really interested in the digital media, digital imaging, stuff like that. I don't know, it's just kind of fun for me, and I assume that's how other people feel, although, one can rarely know what other people feel.
I do like your take on this, and you do give me a positive hope because I was just thinking that, oh no, now it's all corporate. I mean, YouTube is becoming corporate. I mean, it's already a big money matter in terms of for a lot of YouTubers, but I was thinking like now we're gonna see next year that EA or Activision is distributing license to YouTubers who would be able to make videos using their game footage, and the people who do not have license will not be able to publish any kind of game footage. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be the next step that they will take uh, to control people's experience when they watch these videos. And that would be really bad for the community, because people who will criticize their games, they will not even give them a license. I mean, do you think this can happen?
I
License to
do.
publish?
It can happen just like, tomorrow they'll give everyone Medal of Honor Warfighter for free, or like a free to pay system or something like that, Like, it's a possibility. I guess in terms of the likeliness, I don't see it happening necessarily next year. I think it's possible that something like that could happen as we move along. We've seen there is no review copy for Medal of Honor yet. They're not releasing that until the actual game comes out, and typically those come out, a week or a week and a half early. So I think even now we're seeing a start in that direction, because you can't review the game, therefore you can't post footage a week early. Therefore, no one has the rights. And now with Medal of Honor, the word on the street is that you can't post videos until something like 9 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess they're making rules to limit what you can do. And I don't know who it's hurting, I guess. Like, is it hurting YouTube? Is it hurting individual YouTubers? Or is it hurting them because they're losing a lot of those first week sales from people who are kind of on the fence saying, should I buy this game? And then since they can't watch any videos, I guess they're not going to.
I think what has happened in the YouTube community has grown exponentially in the last one year or so, and that is the reason why these big companies have started to take an interest on YouTube. And I am pretty sure that since these gaming companies, they want to control users' experience and users' opinion, they might put some clause in it, in their games in the future, to prevent specific type of videos to come out. I've heard that Microsoft has already put a clause for Halo 4, saying that you cannot make money out of our game footage. So I mean, YouTube was kind of considered free speech, but I think down the line, maybe 3 years or 4 years, it would be as controlled as any other media or any other news television is. And I'm already seeing corporations showing interest and taking steps towards that specific thing, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, this is purely speculation, but what about something like Twitch, where, it's just a live stream. They're just kind of quote unquote hanging out. Like they're not necessarily posting the footage anywhere. They're just, letting people watch what they're doing. Is that going to be the next step as well, or?
They can block it, because I know that WarZ, if you, I think you do know about WarZ, right?
Yes, yes.
WarZ, they released their beta on October 15th, and I went to Twitch to see that, hey, is anybody streaming it? Now, they have an NDA for the beta, not allowing anybody to stream it until November 5th. So there was one guy who was not streaming the beta, but what he was doing is, as he was playing the beta, he had a webcam on himself, and he was basically just answering questions and asking people, hey, I'm at this place, should I kill him, what should I do, and all those things. So they can certainly prevent people from streaming this stuff to tilt the balance in their favor and to sell their product. They can certainly do that. People who stream it, they can certainly take action against them, because I believe Twitch does record what you were streaming. I think, however, it again depends on the community. Now, Twitch has not come under their eye because they don't think it's as big of a deal as YouTube. And that's why people are able to do stuff on Twitch that they can not do on YouTube. I see people who stream on Twitch play copyrighted music in the background. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't done as much on Twitch as I probably should have.
I mean, I've seen many YouTubers who basically stream on Twitch, and what they do is they're playing the game, but they are playing some heavy metal, rock metal music in the background, which makes the gameplay look more exciting. And these are all copyrighted songs, and they're streaming it on Twitch. And they're getting away from it because the RIAA, the music industry, and the big companies are not looking towards Twitch because they think it's not that big of a community. So as Twitch gets bigger, definitely they'll have the same issues too. I can't see why they will not.
Yeah. We'll have to keep our eyes open.
Yes, and I mean, there were a couple of months ago, there was a rumor about EA being sold to some bigger company, some bigger media company. And these kind of efforts from EA, I would say they are short-term efforts to make profit because they're saving money on their advertising budget. But in the long term, they are hurting their brand and they are hurting their brand reputation. So maybe EA might be going on sale in 6 months, and they might want to show some profit, and this could be their last ditch efforts. So to show some good profits and get some good return on their sale. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's all business right now, and it's all corporation. So we can just speculate over here.
And we have.
Well, Noah, if I put you in a position, if you're running a business like EA and you are paying millions of dollars in salary to your employees and millions of dollars in advertising budget, and if I tell you that, hey, if you just claim copyright on all these videos, you can advertise on every Battlefield 3 video in YouTube for free, won't you do it?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's a perfect business strategy. I mean, they used these YouTubers to promote their games in the starting, and now that they have a whole crowd, millions of people watching these videos, they have an advertising platform that they don't have to pay a single dime on to advertise. Perfect world.
Yep.
Amazing business.
That's what they do.
Yep. That's what they are. They're a corporation. They need to make profit, so that's what they can do. They're gonna do.
Okay, so Battlefield 3 Aftermath. I don't know exactly how I feel, which I guess means I know exactly how I feel. I'm a little hesitant to tell you guys how I feel. So some things, the Crossbow and Scavenger Mode, and then some nice, pretty little changes
I love the
throughout.
crossbow. I
You
love
love
the
the Crossbow.
I'm like, I know people were complaining and saying that, hey, why did they give us a stupid crossbow? We wanted more guns. And I'm like, for DICE, what a gun means, they'll just reskin any other gun in their thing, increase the recoil, decrease something, and they'll just give you a new gun. That's what it's basically copies of other thing. But I love that they have given us something very unique, and it's gonna be more of a gadget. I mean, if you see at the details on the crossbow, it's gonna have 4 different ammunition type. So it's gonna have a normal ammunition. It's gonna have ballistic ammunition, which is basically for long range sniping or something like that. It's gonna have explosive, which is gonna be similar to RPG or C4, and it's gonna have a scam ammunition, which is similar to tugs, which is gonna be able to motion detect anybody around a certain area. And these you can switch between these ammunition by just tapping your fire mode. So just think about how much dynamic gameplay this is going to bring out. Now I am afraid whether it's going to imbalance the classes, because now you have tugs on virtually any class that you want. So what is the use for a recon? Or you can have an explosive RPG on front of the crossbow. So what is the use of an engineer? But I hope they balance it right. I'm kind of feeling you're not that excited about the crossbow. Did you wanted guns?
Um, I don't know.
I think you're tired of Battlefield 3.
I'm really not. I was playing it the other night and I was having a blast. Although I was playing squad deathmatch on close quarters, so that's always fun.
But you get shot in the back like 10,000 times.
Yep. But I don't know. I mean, the crossbow. I'm just kind of worried about how it's going to affect the game. So the crossbow was a fairly big part about Black Ops, the original Black Ops, right? It was in that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. And it shot explosive darts. I'm worried that it on Battlefield 3 will be, I guess,
it will balance the game.
Yeah, like I'm wondering, how will the ballistics work? You talked about the ballistic. I guess you could call it a dart or an arrow. I mean, it's supposed to shoot an arrow. I don't know, but like, will it be a sniping crossbow? And will it be a one-hit kill?
I think the crossbow would be more of a novelty than an actual powerful weapon.
Which
And
means everyone's going to be using it.
no, it's gonna be a novelty in terms of like, oh, that guy killed me with the crossbow. He might be really skilled, rather than a weapon like, oh, the crossbow is overpowered. I'm pretty sure that in the first week, everybody's gonna scream, the crossbow is overpowered, and we might even
Guaranteed.
and we might even do an episode, like we did for the AC-130, saying that the crossbow
The crossbow's
needs
rigged.
yeah, yeah. I mean, depend on how DICE introduces it. What I'm not that afraid about it being overpowered. I'm just seeing that if it does come into play and everybody has it, then what is the need for classes? I mean, you don't need a recon. You already have tugs. You don't need
Hmm.
engineer. You already have explosive, and you don't need a sniper rifle because you already have ballistics. So I'm like, how will that balance out?
Right.
But you know what I think is happening is that I think Battlefield 3 has lived its life, and now they are less worried about balancing the game. They just want to give people fun things to play with. Uh,
Right.
it's like those, those RPG PC games, like suppose Skyrim. Okay,
Okay.
so I will go and play Skyrim, and I'll play it for 30 hours, 40 hours, and after that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm done with this game. What new can I do? Oh, I'll just download this mod file, and I modify my character to look 1,000 feet tall or something like that. So I'm just doing stupid things because I'm like, this is now I'm trying to get more out of that game by just having it like an open playfield or something like that. So maybe it's like that. Maybe DICE is thinking like, hey, let's give people some fun things to play, because or maybe they're experimenting for Battlefield 4 if a concept like this can work in Battlefield 4 or not.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Now, Zitter, we all know that you download the naked mods for Skyrim, so don't even pretend that you don't do that. But okay, so let's think about really good and long-lasting games. For instance, like the StarCraft series. So we had StarCraft, and now we have StarCraft 2. The reason this game lasts so long is because it is balanced.
Yes.
So now I know that RTS and FPS are different types of games, but I'm almost wondering, if they sort of got to that state where Battlefield 3 was perfectly balanced, would it last, forever?
Oh, it
Maybe
will
not
definitely
forever,
last
but
forever because Battlefield 2 did last almost forever. It came out in 2005 and people were still playing it until Battlefield 3 came out. But the thing is that, I mean, if you look at a company like Blizzard, and they have a certain objective with StarCraft, that they're going to release a game every 10 years, and they're going to release a game which will last 10 years. But I mean, EA does not have the same objective. They are going to make a game, and then they're going to make another game a year and a half later, and they would want people to buy that game. So longevity of a game is really not their concern. That is one of the reasons why DICE hasn't fixed any of the out of the map glitches. I mean, I go and watch Houdini. Have you watched QED episodes?
yep.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they're like 50 different glitches on every map, and DICE knows about them. They just don't want to spend the time to fix them because it's all about the profit. So right now, what they are doing is maybe they are turning the game into a sandbox, and basically giving people, hey, you want this, go have a go at it. Or maybe they're trying to piss Battlefield 3 people off by making the crossbow really overpowered, so they will go and buy Medal of Honor Warfighter. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they might lose some people in the Black Ops if that's their plan.
Well, I think Battlefield 3 grew in the first place because Call of Duty gamers were pissed at Modern Warfare 3 being nothing new, I believe. I mean,
That's why I started playing Battlefield 3.
yeah, because you thought that, oh, these guys are just not innovating, or these guys are just not balancing and not listening to us, because the same thing happened with Modern Warfare 2 with the noob tubes or something, and
Hmm.
people were like, we've had enough of it. We're just gonna go to another game. So,
Right.
but the thing is that Battlefield 3, I mean, these titles, they come out, but no developer wants them to be. They want it to be maybe as long as a yearly title. Like this game is gonna last for the person for 1 year. They don't plan for 2 or 3 years. Although there are like two more expansion packs for Battlefield 3 to come out.
Right.
Um, I'm just thinking they're trying to give community what they want. They want people to have a more sandbox-like experience, and I think they're also experimenting with these kind of gadgets for Battlefield 4.
I don't know. I mean, you look at it and you think you look at a Call of Duty game and they give you, I think it's 4 map packs per game about.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It could be 4 or 5, maybe 3 on some of the earlier ones. Um, and they make that game to last a year. Now, a lot of people with Modern Warfare 3, they actually went back to Black Ops. Um, and I didn't. Although I did play it in 3D the other day. Did you know that you can play Black Ops in 3D?
I did not know that, but I'm thinking of getting Black Ops and getting into it for us for a short time.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's in 3D, which you're thinking, oh, that sounds cool, except it puts your red dot or iron sights really far away on the screen, so you have to squint to see it.
Oh God. Yeah, God.
But
Wow.
okay, back on task though. um, Battlefield isn't a once a year game, so they're trying to extend the life, and I guess how well are they doing that? That's everyone has a different answer for that, and mine certainly isn't definitive. But one way they are trying to innovate the game is by giving us new game modes, specifically the Scavenger game mode. Zitter, what do you think about this one?
I love new game modes anytime they add it. Scavenger game mode, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. You basically start off with a pistol and then you go and find other weapons, and basically you pick up LMGs and all those things, and you have a certain amount of ammo, so it's more like a survival mode. However, I'm a little concerned that I don't think this mode will have mass appeal. You know what the Battlefield 3 crowd is, right? The majority of Battlefield 3 crowd is the ones who play those Metro meat grinders all day long. And I don't know how many people would be interested in playing a mode in which they are limited in terms of ammo, limited in terms of killing power. I'm also pretty sure that majority of Battlefield 3 players, they don't like to experiment with different guns. So in scavenger game mode, you have to adapt to all these different weapons. And if you're not a player who has 500 kills with every gun or something, you will never appreciate that. And majority of players are like that. I mean, I see people who have 10,000 kills with one gun, and other guns they've never used it. So those people are not gonna play it. So that's why I'm concerned about the mass appeal of this particular mode. Even right now, Armored Kill doesn't have a whole lot of mass appeal, and I can only find maybe 3 or 4 servers which are full to play Armored Kill Rush on. So and I think Scavenger game mode will have less appeal than Armored Kill. So I'm concerned about that, but apart from that, I'll be playing it.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm one of those people who changes guns every time I die, just because I'm tired of using that one.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to say, oh, that's because you live so long, because you're so good, Nova. That's not true. I die all the time, but I still change guns. And, they also say you're not supposed to, you got to get used to the gun before you can throw it away. Well, that's why I play with all of them. They all feel a little different. And if I feel as though it hasn't, gotten its fair shot, say
Yeah.
I die real quick or something like that, I'll keep it around for a little bit longer. But one of the exciting things is just you don't get trapped into playing the same game over and over again if you do switch guns. So I'm looking forward to Scavenger Mode. Like you said, it's not going to be the most popular.
Yeah.
But I think that a fair number of us will play it. in my opinion, it would be my mode of choice on the consoles because it's all about the, I guess, closer squad play. Because it's going to be essentially like a small conquest domination thing, except with no guns, except you find them on the floor. Like, a lot of the popular games, such as like GoldenEye or games like that. So I don't know. I think it's a tried and true game, and I'm excited to try it out.
Have you played this game mode on any other game?
Not specifically as this calls it, but I think it's pretty similar to like the Unreal Tournament deathmatch type thing. Obviously, without the capture points, but where you have to run around and pick up a gun and then kill people.
Yeah, and I think Halo has a similar mode as this, but I don't play Halo, and I don't think you play it either, right?
I played Halo 1 through 3 on my friend's Xboxes, but no, I do not currently play Halo.
Halo is such a difficult game because you have to keep in mind not the enemy front and behind you, but the enemy above you and below you who can kill you, because people are jumping all over the place. And it's just too difficult to adapt to that game. But one thing I would say is that if this mode is not highly randomized, people will remember where to find a specific gun, and they will just bipod, find that gun, bipod in the hallway, and they will just keep killing whoever is trying to come in. So
right, do you camp the gun places? Do you camp your flags? Do you even bother getting a gun, or do you just use your pistol?
And it depends on the players too. The players who are gonna play scavenger game mode, they'll be happy to find the guns and they won't care about the flag. Like if you find an LMG and you're killing everybody on the map, do you even bother about capturing the flag and playing the objective or PTR?
Here's the thing. Do you play with an LMG when you play Battlefield 3? And when you do you kill everyone on the map? I certainly don't.
Oh, I do. I'm very good with the LMG.
All right.
Go look up my stats. I'm pretty good with the LMG, especially on close quarters.
The LSAT. I'll say that. It's pretty much my gun.
Seriously, that's like the worst LMG.
Oh, you're wrong. The LSAT
at Type 88.
All right. Okay. So what else is coming with this aftermath thing, Zitter?
We are getting a modified Vodnik, like with more armor, but what you can do is you can snipe the guy who is driving it. I know that the Vodnik is not the most popular vehicle on the battlefield, so it's kind of good to see it getting some love. I'm looking forward to driving it. Only problem is you need a driver and then you need a gunner, and usually that doesn't work out very well.
Yeah.
Also, the highlight, the support, he loses his stupid helmet, and that looks pretty cool though. Did you see the new support guy?
Helmet.
Huh? I
kind of like this helmet.
Nah, I think the helmet was kind of stupid. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get up in arms about it because I like changes, but I certainly didn't see any problem with it either. But no. I have noticed that in the trailer, obviously they're playing in a higher resolution than I'm able to on either my PC or my PS3, but the soldiers do look a lot better.
Yes, they do, and I think it's also because of the camo. They are having the new blood-stained camo. Like everybody has been through an earthquake, and they're basically all shook up, and they've injured themselves and all those things. So that is there too. So I'm liking the new camo actually. It looks more realistic than usually what the Battlefield camo looks like. Doesn't it seem like that everybody in Battlefield, all the soldiers, they've went to their barracks, ironed their pants and shirts, and then they step on the battlefield. They just look too clean, right?
Yeah, and they're all wearing black. That's why I chose to wear like teal and green, because I wanted to be different, although it gets me killed a lot. But here's something that won't get me killed: sunglasses. Because everywhere I go, I wear sunglasses, like Walmart, the movie theater. I don't know, I'll be walking down my basement wearing sunglasses, I guess, because pretty much everyone's wearing sunglasses in
So that
Aftermath.
you can look at girls and stare at them without them knowing that you're looking at them.
That might be part of it. However, there aren't any girls in Battlefield 3.
Yeah, they should have released a girl camo. That will sell.
I'd use it.
I'm telling you, if they released a girl camo and put it out for like $25,
Yeah, people will buy it.
yeah, people will buy it. I don't know why they don't do it.
I'd probably buy it on both PC and PS3.
Yeah, then you can buy it and then you can type messages to people. You got killed by a girl or something like that. Yeah. So the sunglasses, I mean, we are seeing screenshots of it, people wearing sunglasses and everything.
Everyone wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, and it's even in the, in the poll for that particular blog post, they have written like, what are you excited about? Sunglasses, Scavenger Mode,
Yeah.
Crossbow,
And sunglasses wins.
yeah, it is an option there. Yeah, and sunglasses wins. But the thing is that nowhere in their blog post have they confirmed that they are giving sunglasses as a specialization. Maybe it's just part of the camo, or maybe not. We don't know. Maybe they want to surprise us.
Yeah, it could be premium only as well. You know, they promised us the moon and gave us some cookies.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be premium only. But one thing I'm liking about all this DLC is like right now I'm feeling really good about buying premium because I think every DLC, the good thing about it is that it has a specific theme and they're trying to show an aspect of the game, like close quarters. They were trying to show. I mean, close quarters was way too close to even call close quarters. It should be called close quarters because I don't think even
The
COD
closest quarters.
yeah, I don't think even Call of Duty maps are that close.
Oh, some of them are, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So it was like way too close. And then Armored Shield is like way too armored focus. I mean, whenever I'm playing Armored Kill, I'm always in a tank or something else. And now they have Aftermath, which is like focused around an earthquake. Your camo is the earthquake like. You are using Crossbow, which is basically a weapon that you will
Yeah,
use.
because if an earthquake happens, that's the first weapon I'm going to.
Oh, really? That's the first weapon I'm taking because I don't need to find ammo for it. I can make ammo for it, and whoever I kill, I can take the arrow back and I can use it again.
Zitter, when was the last time you made arrows?
When I was a kid, they were
Yeah.
very. But
You kill some people with your homemade arrows.
but I love the way that DICE is sticking to a theme. It's not like, hey, here are these 4 maps. One is a mountain, one is a valley, and one is this and one is that. It's not like that. It's like they are sticking to a theme. They are making weapons according to that theme. Even the modified Vodniks and everything, you would say like, okay, this is something that I can see in an Aftermath situation. So they want to give you a feel about their map packs. Now, I don't know whether, I mean, you have gone through a lot of map packs in other games like Call of Duty. I don't know whether they stick to a particular theme in one map pack and they try to give you that kind of feeling or not.
Not really at all. And here's where Battlefield 3 really does, I think, the best out of anyone in terms of map packs and DLCs. When they give you a DLC, they give you a completely different game. You know, they use the same, structure. Obviously, this physics engine is the exact same. But with close quarters, they completely changed how you play the game. With Armored Kill, it was essentially a brand new game. You know, people compare it to Back to Karkand, but it's completely different from Back to Karkand.
Armored Shield is completely different than Back to Karkand.
Exactly.
I mean, I was seeing Rival X Factor's video today, and he was basically defending with a tank in Back to Karkand, and he was saying just stay behind this cover and keep putting your shells and keep getting your tank behind the cover. And I'm like, in Armored Kill there is no cover, so every time you face a tank, you need to rush it or you're gonna die. So it's a completely different game. Even the basics and the gameplay of one map doesn't apply to Armored Kill or to close quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, to me, that's why I'm still playing Battlefield 3. There was nothing wrong with the vanilla game, but I would have moved on a long time ago if they hadn't given us new ways to play. So I think kudos to Battlefield 3 and DICE for giving us
You know what?
appropriate DLC.
No, this is funny. Not even the expansion, but the patches that they put. It
You're right.
completely
You're right.
changes the game
Even their patches turn the game completely
upside down.
around. Although, people say, "Oh, the M16, it's now terrible." No, it's not. Everyone's still using it, and they're still getting tons of kills with it. So, get off your high horse, M16.
Yeah. So next feature, Gunmaster would be on Aftermath on every map. I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I don't really like Gunmaster. I would rather have tank superiority or tank deathmatch, something like that on every map.
Yeah. Gunmaster, I don't know. I don't like it on PC at all, and I don't know if that's just me. Maybe I'm not as good as I am on console. On console, it's okay. I'll play it maybe. Well, I haven't played console in a couple weeks now, but back when I had time,
Back when
I played it maybe 1 out of every 30 matches. I played a game in Gunmaster just to let off some steam or something. It's just not that fun. I don't think that Battlefield 3 does Gunmaster as well as other games do it. Like Counter-Strike. Obviously, no one's going to beat Counter-Strike when it comes to that gun mode. But yeah, so pretty much as long as we have the vanilla modes, I'd love to play some more Squad Rush. I still haven't played Squad Rush on all of the Armored Kill maps yet. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to be playing Gunmaster on Aftermath.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna give it a try either. I mean, they have to change a lot of things and make it a lot more fun. Especially with their selection of guns, it's not that much fun. If suppose if they gave us 20 weapons and they just let us choose those in any order or something like that, that would be more fun.
That'd be interesting.
But I mean,
Kind of like a strategy game.
yeah, the tank superiority, what I'm talking about is like if you see tank, if you have, I don't know whether you have played tank superiority much on Armored
Yes, I
King.
have.
Yeah. So basically, every time you go to tank superiority, you are in this open area. And I'm kind of thinking, like, what if you put tank superiority on some of the Karkand maps or some of the vanilla maps? It would be a lot of fun. The only problem is that you do not have a flag that people can rush to because there are roads and everything, and other tanks can block your way. So instead of tank superiority, I think you should rather have a tank deathmatch, like whichever team destroys the most amount of vehicles wins or something like that. And that would be a lot of fun, and it wouldn't take a lot of effort to actually put that game mode in other maps. So instead of spending their resources on Gunmaster, if they would have spent it on tank team deathmatch, something like that, I would have been much happy.
Yeah. I have a gripe, so prepare yourself for a Nova Dragon gripe. I hate the fact that tank superiority has a flag. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is there a flag?
No, because somebody has to go in the center of the flag, be a scapegoat, and get bombarded by every other tank around. That would be the guy who is PTFOing. So you just tell that guy who PTFO
my gameplay, because I'm constantly on the objective in tank superiority. I'm not even in a tank. I have a spawn beacon right next to it. I'll spawn in. I'll just sit on the objective until someone kills me or until I capture it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that DICE rewards the players who PTFO like you by putting them on a flag and getting them shot from every direction possible.
For the 200 points and the death.
Yeah.
I'll pay you back next time, DICE.
Yeah. Yeah, they really need to look at their team play and everything. It's kind of funny that DICE was so team play minded that in Bad Company 2 we don't even have a team deathmatch. They were
Mhm.
like Conquest or Rush, that's it. Or Squad Rush or Squad Deathmatch. These were the only four modes in that game. We didn't had team deathmatch or anything, and now they've gone like, oh, we'll give you both. We'll give you can snipe with your tanks. Stay back there. No need to go to the flag. Yeah, it's kind of
Except
stupid.
for one person has to go to the flag.
Yeah, maybe if they had like three flags, it would be much better. Something like
Well,
that.
then
Like,
they might as well just call it Conquest.
yeah, yeah, and
Tank Conquest or
you,
something like that.
yeah, and you know what? What I was thinking is that if they had conquest domination on other maps where you can random
Right.
spawn.
Like they
That would
already
be a lot of
have.
fun because you will never get spawn trapped.
And even in, okay, so close quarters, yeah, the maps are really small. But take, a city block of back to Karkand and make it into a conquest domination. It takes, what, maybe like 4 hours for them to do the coding because
Yeah.
all they have to do is put in the new flags and build walls that you can't get out of. And blam, you have a brand new game mode on a really awesome map.
Me and my friends were talking the other day, and they said that every vanilla map should have not one but two TDM because there are at least two areas in every
Mm-hmm.
map which is amazing for team deathmatch. Like they were saying that, oh, why can't we have team deathmatch over in this particular area because it would be so awesome. Like CN Crossing, the last set of MCOMs, that whole area combined with the C flag is amazing for TDM, but they don't have it. So I don't know.
Right.
They
I
could,
mean, it wouldn't be hard though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
ah, I gave them a kudos, and now I want to take it back.
You know what? They actually did this thing for Bad Company 2. Anybody who bought Bad Company 2 pre-ordered it, got a limited edition, and they got a VIP pass. And they told everybody that they're never gonna charge for DLC. But what they did was they had 8 maps, and four of them had Conquest and four of them had Rush. So for the next DLC, they just put Rush on a map that had Conquest and Conquest on a map that had Rush. So you got two new maps, and then you get two new maps. So there were 8 DLCs for that particular game with just new modes on the same old maps. And they said you're never gonna pay for DLC. Now we know why.
Yeah, because it's the exact same maps, and it took no effort on their part.
Well, DICE is lazy that way. Remember
Yeah.
Camos for the same
But they
guns?
make such good games. Why
Yeah.
don't, you talked about them making it sort of into a sandbox mode. Why not? Let me decide where the parameters of my TDM will be.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that will be the games of the future, though.
Yeah.
It-
Oh, absolutely. We'll be able to make our own first-person shooter maps.
yeah,
We've been
and
able to do that with, uh, race tracks. We've been able to do it with Little Big Planet. That's a huge customizable game.
yes.
Um, even it's coming to me. uh,
Halo has a build your own
yeah.
map mode. Far
Mm-hmm.
Cry 2 had a build your own map mode.
Yep.
You could,
Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's what I was thinking about.
yeah.
So you build your own skate park and then share it around the world. That's awesome.
Far Cry 2 had a place where you can build your own map and have people play on it.
Speaking
So
about Far Cry 3
looks amazing.
looks amazing.
I actually didn't like. I actually loved Far Cry 2. I know many people didn't like it because of the guns jamming and all those other things that you have to drink certain hours and you're gonna die or something like that, and you catch malaria. It's a weird game. I don't know if you have played it or not. Far
Yes, I
Cry 2.
have.
Yeah, I actually liked it because I liked the setting and I liked traveling. I never fast traveled in that game. Like
hmm
going from point A to point B and facing all the people in the way was just part of an experience.
Yeah. I bought that game and Mercenaries 2 at the exact same time. And so I kept going back and forth between the two of them. And they're very different, but they're similar enough that I got them a little confused. But you know, it's not necessarily a game where you just sit there and play it all day long like you would with Battlefield.
Hmm.
Not saying I do, but I have. um, but it's fun. It's just a fun game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Far Cry 3, I think I like what I see. I like it better than Borderlands or anything else because it's kind of more realistic in some way. Borderlands, the whole graphics and other thing, it just puts me off for some reason.
Yeah.
I know it's fun. I played Borderlands 1 and I liked it, but it's not a game that I'll play for too long.
Yeah, I liked Borderlands 1, and so I bought Borderlands 2, and I haven't played it pretty much since the week after it came out. So, and I don't really miss it,
Yeah.
It's the same with DayZ. Everyone's still playing DayZ, but I haven't played it in well over a month, and I simply don't miss it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It should have been an MMO rather than basically a FPS console game. It would be much more fun that way because then you can gather all this loot and then you can go into matches and you can have TDM against your opposition. It would be a lot.
Yeah, that would actually be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then you basically try to get this. I mean, even Borderlands 1, there was some kind of trading where people used to say, hey, I have this orange gun, and if you have this gun, I'll trade it with you. And what they used to do is they used to meet and they used to drop uh, the the gun for each other, and they used to pick up each other's gun, and they were like, oh yeah, we have. So it would be much more fun to see that even if you are not lucky enough to find the really good guns, at least you should be able to like go into the game, get a lot of kills, and buy them.
Yeah.
So moving on to our next aftermath news, there will be aftershocks in the maps that are going to shake your aim. Now this, I think this is unlike anything else we have seen in any game.
Except for that time that they broke suppression.
Yeah, that was an aftershock. I mean, a bullet basically whizzes like 20 meters from you and you get suppressed.
Yeah, and then the bullets were random, and so you could hit your target or you could hit nothing.
Yeah. So I hope that it only shakes your aim and not basically, I mean, I hope that this is only recoil based and not actually accuracy based because I'll be
Right.
pissed if I line up my crossbow. And the second thing is that there will be secret flanking routes. So you could put C4 on back of a building and a route for a tunnel will blow up and you can go through that tunnel and you can get to the other side of the map. So
I really like that concept. I'm a little worried about the aftershocks. Now my PS3 gameplay is pretty solid. You know that, Zitter.
yeah.
But my PC gameplay, I'm already a little jittery. I'm kind of worried what will happen when the whole map starts shaking.
Well, maybe maybe your jitters will compensate for the jitters
Yeah.
that the map will give you, and you'll be
I'm
like
gonna be
perfect aim.
awesome if that happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited about Aftermath. I think I people say that Close Quarter was a failure and Armored Kill is a failure. I disagree. I think I've had a lot of fun on Close Quarters, especially being on the console, and I'm having a lot of fun on Armored Kill now after they have fixed Rush. So I think I got my money's worth. I have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't like to complain at all.
Yeah.
I was no one to complain,
Mhm.
after they released Armored Kill, but I never really said anything that terrible. I complained about the AC-130, but at this point, I kept playing it. It didn't deter me from having fun playing a game I love. So, yeah, I mean, I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of the premium.
Yeah. So, moving on to a review section, I think Nova over here has some cool gadgets, some cool games, and some expectations, which he's gonna talk about. So, Nova, tell us about the Chromebook.
All right, guys. So I got the Google Chromebook, the CR48. And if any of you guys have this, you know that I should not have been able to obtain a copy. Because in the privacy statement. It specifically says, do not sell or give this Chromebook to anyone. So someone has since sold their soul, and I bought it at a consignment store for $80, which I think is a perfectly good price to pay for a completely adequate Chromebook. Now, Chromebook uses Chrome OS, which is essentially the Chrome web browser. That's essentially all you can do. Now you guys know that you can use Google Docs and Google Hangouts and all these other things.
On live?
That's a good question. I haven't tried, but I would assume you can.
Yeah, if they have an app for the Chrome browser, then I'm pretty sure you would be able to do it.
I'm not sure if there's an app yet, but there's still, Google's still trying to push these Chromebooks on the shelves. They just announced that the new Samsung Chromebook is going to be only $250, which is a really good price if all you want to do is go on the internet. If you want to play any games like Battlefield 3, for instance, you're not going to want to do that on a Chromebook.
This is a really good thing for those grandma and grandpas who don't want to do anything more than check their email, check Facebook, and go on the internet, because they don't even have to worry about getting a virus or defragmenting their computer or doing a check disk. All those stuff they don't have to worry about, because this has to be just connected to the internet and everything is going to be there.
Yep. And, it's just like the Chrome browser. It's really intuitive. So I turned it on, and, about 8 seconds later, I was logged in, and they were like, all right, you want us to import all your bookmarks? I said, sure. And so it was essentially, what I browsed the internet on my laptop, and then it was on my Chromebook in less than a minute. So it was pretty cool. And then, it's just fun.
So does this have any hard drive storage?
It has 16 gigabytes of SSD space. You can put in a flash drive, and it has a SD memory slot. So you can obviously expand storage, but there's really no need to store anything on the computer itself.
And how good is the video card on it? Can you watch YouTube in 720, 1080p, something like that?
Once you get to the higher defs, it gets a little bit choppy. But I've watched countless hours of Netflix and YouTube and some other, internet streaming things on it, and they all work just fine. Once you do get into the HD, pretty much anything 720 and up, it's going to be a little choppy. At least on the Chromebook that I'm using. I don't have a statement about the newer ones, but their specs are essentially the same. So I would assume that it's about the same.
Okay, that's cool. So that's it for you guys about the Chromebook. If you have any questions, Twitter Nova, and he'll answer it.
Eventually.
Eventually, when he gets on Twitter and logs in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you've been having some fun with Primal Carnage or Dino mode?
Well,
I've seen videos of this.
For those of you who really want dinosaur mode in Battlefield 3, look no further, because Primal Carnage exists. I personally have had a terrible time playing this game. I am both really bad at it, and I just don't. I'm just not good at it, I guess. So that's why I've had a bad time. Maybe if I had a little bit more success, I'd be changing my review. But honestly, I did not like it. I'm perfectly content with accepting that people can like it. It's just not going to be my next game.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of YouTube videos for this game because it's kind of funny in terms of making a video. The problem I see with this game is that it has really bad game design, and so what happens is you get overwhelmed by dinosaurs, and for some people it's a challenge. or it's just about having fun and running away from them. And I think you're getting killed by dinosaurs more often than you're killing them. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I was playing this one map, and there's like a platform that the bigger dinosaurs can't get to, and the smaller dinosaurs get killed a lot easier. So all of the humans would just go stand on top of this platform, and essentially the humans would win, which is unheard of because dinosaurs are awesome. So, I don't know. Ertzi, the guest from a couple weeks ago and one of our first episodes, he enjoys it more than I do, although, I've been
Artsy is a
stalking him a
pro.
little bit, and he hasn't played it either, so.
Yeah, but Artsy is a pro. You can't take an example of Artsy and tell our subscribers or recommend anything to our subscribers because he's different.
Yeah, he is definitely different. That's a great way of saying it.
Yeah. So, what are the things, Nova, you've been up to? Google Hangouts?
Well, yeah, so as some of you guys know, I am in a long-distance relationship with my girlfriend. And Skype is good and all, but all you can do is talk. And for me, sometimes that gets a little boring. She probably won't listen to this, so I'll be safe. But Google Hangouts has some neat little apps associated with it. So even if we're having a really serious talk, I can put on a little monocle and a puppy dog mask. And it's just fun. Also, and what I really wanted to talk about was Warlight. Now, a lot of you guys might know what Warlight is. They have a website, and it's essentially just the same. It's a game of Risk that you can play with the people in your Google Hangout. And I love the game of Risk. I think the strategy is really fun, and it's fun that my girlfriend wants to play it with me. So,
Okay,
two thumbs
that's
up
cool.
for Google Hangouts.
That's cool. Social gaming.
Yeah.
Finally, Google is doing something social.
Yeah, for the first time in their history.
Have you do you know with Google Hangouts you can broadcast your screen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to do that for free with Skype, although they just made it a paid thing now too.
Yeah, well, Skype is one company that is very popular but hasn't made any money. So they are looking into ways to monetize things.
Right.
So and I think Microsoft bought them recently, right? So I'm not surprised that they are going that way. You know, one other company that hasn't made any money is YouTube. It didn't make any money until I think 2011 when it started actually making money. Before that, YouTube was losing money every year because
Yeah.
the amount of videos that people were uploading and all the storage costs and everything.
Yeah. Well, if you have a good idea and it works, you'll know you'll eventually make a profit.
Yeah, it takes time. So I'm very curious to know what do you expect from Medal of Honor Warfighter? I know you jumped on the $30 deal. I would have jumped too if I would play it on PC, but
Yep.
I'm kind of wondering, why did you buy it? What made you buy it?
I wasn't planning to. And then I heard about the half-off deal if you're a premium member. So I made the purchase. And essentially all I thought is I want to keep playing with all of the 008 guys who are going to get it. I don't think it's going to be as good as Battlefield 3. I could be very wrong. Maybe it'll be great. It doesn't look like a bad game. So I think I'll enjoy playing it. And for the $30 price tag, I guess you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, you know what? This might be a topic for future Squadcast, but I feel sometimes that peer pressure makes you buy a lot of games that you wouldn't otherwise.
That is very true.
Like Borderlands 2 and all those things. Like all my friends, they at one time they were all playing Borderlands 2, and I thought about maybe I should buy it. But guess what? I waited 25 days and they're back on Battlefield 3.
Yep.
But
yeah, it's kind of like what happened with it was about a year ago, I guess. I one of my classmates at my college was big into FIFA. So I bought FIFA 12, and we always said we would play together. We never played together. Fortunately, I actually made a friend on Modern Warfare 3, and we started playing FIFA together. So, sometimes even the worst decisions come out to be little nuggets of happiness.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, recently, what has been happening to me regarding peer pressure is not exactly peer pressure, but I want to play with my friends, and I jump on Battlefield 3, and they're all playing Conquest, and I'm interested in playing Armored Kill Rush, but nobody wants to play it. So till they are online, I'm playing with them, and I have to endure these Caspian borders and Firestorm rounds of Conquest in which you see very little action and all those things. But at the same time, I'm having fun because we're talking and we're joking around. So it's a kind of give and take. And definitely, I mean, these if these companies can mastermind the social aspect of it, which I think they are moving towards. I mean, what is Battlelog? Battlelog is basically a tool to tell what your friends are playing and what game you should be buying, because all I saw today was this guy has access to Medal of Honor, this guy has access to Medal of Honor, and I was like, oh, if I want to play with this person, he's going to be playing Medal of Honor for at least a month, so I'm out of luck on
Maybe.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same with Steam. You create a friends list, and then based on the games you've played in the past, and then you move on, they move on. You're both playing different games, and you think, oh, should I buy that game? I don't know. We could play together, but it's kind of expensive.
Well, the good thing about Steam is at least you can voice chat even though you're playing different games. Or
Yep.
yeah, which Xbox also has that feature. I hate that PS3 doesn't have that feature.
Yeah, although the Vita does.
Yeah. I'm not buying it, don't worry. Not for you at least.
All right, so I've rambled on enough reviews tonight. Zitter, let's move on to our tip section. What is your tip for this week?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Armored Kill Rush, and what I want to do is a small comparison between the LMG and the HMG, heavy machine gun, for the tank. Basically, there are two major differences between the LMG and HMG. The LMG has a high rate of fire, but the heavy machine gun has a consistent rate of fire. Like you can fire it all the time and it will not overheat. And it is much more accurate than the LMG. Now, which one do I prefer? I like the idea of having consistent fire. So you would think that I would prefer the HMG. You know that in Battlefield 3, consistent fire is very important because you can suppress people and they don't even have a chance to shoot back at you. And HMG provides that consistent fire. But I'm going to give you a tip that even by using LMG, you can keep consistent fire on a group of enemies. So what I do is I point my LMG towards the enemies and I keep firing until the LMG overheats. As soon as it overheats, switch to tank shell, get that shell out, switch back to LMG and start shooting. This way I can maintain a consistent stream of fire by using a higher rate of fire weapon, a more damaging weapon. And well, that's the thing you need to try out sometime. I know a lot of people, like I'm seeing on YouTube, prefer HMG, and I'm not gonna lie, I used to prefer the HMG once upon a time too, but I've just gotten so used to LMG and so used to switching between one target to another target with that high rate of fire, taking them down, suppressing them, firing a tank shell, getting back to LMG, that this is one thing, if you practice, I think you will do better than with an HMG. Nova, you got any comments on that?
It's pretty interesting. One thing I would add to your tip is if you burst fire your LMG, it takes a really long time to overheat. So Obviously, if you hold it down, it takes maybe 5 seconds or 7 seconds to overheat. If you burst fire, that time is doubled, if not tripled. So you can keep that pressure, keep that suppression on, even without overheating or switching to your primary.
Yeah, that's a very good tip. And this is even when you're not hitting your enemies, I would say keep firing the LMG because you do suppress them. And in a game like Rush, it is very important that you keep your enemies suppressed and keep them intimidated by using this LMG and tank shell combination. So Nova, what is your tip for today?
My tip, kind of a tip in a long stream of tips, because I've talked about, playing with your squad, playing with a suppressor. Well, this is where I bust out the tactics. And my recommendation for you guys is to play as if you only live once. So, I've been playing a lot of Payday the Heist, and if you die, your team has to come revive you. There isn't a respawn time, although I guess there is after 3 or so minutes if you can somehow manage to live with your team even if you're dead. But on Battlefield 3, it's kind of fun to pretend that you're not coming back. I think you'll find that you're getting a lot more points per life. You're also probably increasing your KD if that is important to you. And it's just a lot of fun. I think you'll start to play more with your brain and less with your fingers. And so that's, it's just a fun little tip. You guys can try it out.
Yeah, the key to this tip is move slowly, click carefully, check all the corners, and keep moving. I think you will have a lot of fun doing that.
Thank you guys for listening to our entire episode of the Anonymous Squadcast this week. You can find our Twitter, iTunes, YouTube, and Skype information on our website, www.anonymoussquadcast.com. As always, I am NOVAxDRAGON.
And this is ZitterZap. Add us on PlayStation, ZitterZap and NOVAxDRAGON.